distinguished guests. The action continues with our next bout of the evening. So please welcome into the ring and the red corner, Juris Zundovskis.
So joining us from Latvia tonight, Juris Zundovskis. 6 fights, 4 wins, 2 defeats. A couple of defeats have come when he's been in that away corner in Denmark. That was his second fight, just 12 days actually after his debut. And then in his last fight in late May, he was at the Arena Riga with an undefeated fighter. He makes his Yorkshire debut tonight, Zundovskis. Plenty of his fellow countrymen have been here before.
Ladies and gentlemen, and their opponent, please welcome into the ring out to the blue corner, Giles.
Well, Giles is one of these guys who sells tickets and is absolutely invaluable in the early stages of a pro career. It endears you, well, basically to everybody. It endears you to the venue, it endears you to the promoter, to your manager, to anyone who's showing it on TV. 24 years old, 3 fights and 3 wins for him. Another fighter from Essex. These two again is tipping the scale slightly above the light heavyweight limit there. Actually, this one though described as super middleweight.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, our next bout of the evening, Lee Eaton in association with TM14 Promotions and Into Boxing, proudly presents 4 rounds of action in the super middleweight division. Sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, our supervisor here at ringside, Des Rees. At the bell for this contest, Mr. Nick White, and our referee in charge of the action, Mr. Sean McAvoy. So introducing to you first, fighting out the red corner, official weight on the scales today, 13 stone. He enters tonight with a professional record, 4 victories, 3 coming within the distance, 2 defeats, wearing the black and white shorts from Liepaja, Latvia, presenting Juris Zundovskis. His opponent tonight, standing across the ring, boxing out of the blue corner. His official weight on the scales, 13 stone. He enters tonight with a professional record, a perfect one, 3 victories, no defeats. Wearing the white, blue, and pink shorts from Wickford, Essex, presenting Giles.
So they're scheduled for 4 between Joe Giles and Juris Zundovskis. Zundovskis in the red corner in the black shorts, in the blue corner bouncing on the balls of his feet is Giles in mainly white but a bit of blue and I'll call it magenta in there as well. He boxed for Billericay and Wickford as an amateur out in Essex. Won an NABC title. Also known as the CYP at other stages. That was back in 2016. I believe he was put forward for a GB assessment after that. I'm not entirely sure what happened. He's had 3 4-rounders so far and has won them all, winning every round.
Yep, definitely well scored. Giles, as you said, comes from a good amateur pedigree. Winning the NABCs is not an easy thing to do. Boxing on the GB squad or being selected for the GB squad as well. You can see that he's very tall, he's very rangy for a light heavyweight. Looks like he controls that space well as well, working well behind the jab and putting Zundovskis under pressure here in this opening round.
Zundovskis has got a solid look about him. And the two of them physically, they're quite different. As you said, he's long and lean. Giles has got still quite a kind of boyish physique about him. I think there's quite a lot of strength that's to come there, some power that will be added to that fray, whereas Zundovskis at 36 years older, he's got a thick, real set look to him. Feint with the front foot there, and then a nice jab from Giles.
Yeah, just taking the centre of the ring, isn't he? But you're right in what you say there. Zundovskis has got that solid look about him, isn't he? He looks like he carries a bit of weight there in that right hand, and Giles got to be careful. He's very tall, very rangy, but he carries that left hand low, and as he brings that left hand back, he brings it back to his waist. You watch when he pops out that jab, it should be coming back to his eyebrow, and it's coming back to his waist, and that sets up or gives Zundovskis the opportunity to counter with that right hand over the top. And that looks like Zundovskis' best shot, if I'm totally honest. It looks like he's dangerous with that right hand counter.
Well, it was an interesting little 10 seconds or so there, wasn't it? Because he almost brought him onto an uppercut, Giles, and he pursued him a little bit, and then as he was coming back out, pulling his feet back out, he kind of marauded in there, Zundovskis, with that almost lead right hand, and caught him high on the head. So that is something he just needs to be a little bit careful about, but he almost timed him perfectly with the uppercut, just using that lead left hand as a distraction almost there, Giles, just varying the height of it. He's a bit crab-like, Zundovskis, dips quite low at the waist. And again, he's looking for that long right uppercut there, Giles, but he does have to be a bit careful because he's reaching for it a bit, and it leaves him in the danger zone.
It certainly does, and Zundovskis does look strong, he does look dangerous. It's a good round there for Giles. He dominated that, he controlled the space, worked well behind the jab, and was carrying that left hand or bringing it back worryingly low, as Zundovskis looked dangerous on the counter. You know, he looked like he wanted to get inside there, he looked like he wanted to sit inside and in the pocket, his short range, whatever you want to call it, and work those shots off. So good round for Giles, but the warning signs were there to say, listen mate, keep your head switched on here, keep it sensible, work well behind the jab, draw him in, bring him into those uppercuts, let him come in low, drive the shots in, but don't hold your ground here, Giles, because Zundovskis does look dangerous.
And you can see why he's looking for that uppercut, because Zundovskis, he comes blundering in really, with his weight heavily forward, but in a way that can make things quite tricky, because he's kind of crude and ungainly and unorthodox, and does a few things in there that you might not necessarily expect someone to do. Nice wide stance there, Giles, looks to try and fire that jab. Again, just was a little bit slow there, and the right hand got through from Zundovskis. That landed clean, and down he went.
And that is exactly what we was talking about. The right hand, he looked dangerous. I said he looked dangerous. That was his only shot to counter. And what Giles was doing wrong was carrying that left hand, he's bringing it back low, and he was made to pay the price there.
Just 30 seconds into round two, Zundovskis, I think we'll look to have a go here and really put it on Giles. He should, certainly, because the right hand put him down, and again he goes in with the right, and he's standing a little bit tall there, Giles, and I think he is slightly buzzed here because he's getting drawn into a touch of a firefight there, and that's not what he needs to do. He needs to try and snap out that jab, bring it back, as you say, up to that eyebrow, keep that distance between the two of them, and just use those feet and stay away for the moment until he's absolutely solid again, because I think with a punch that put him down, caught him quite high on the head, and that can always be a problem. He didn't go down straight away from it, which was quite interesting. There was a little follow-up, and then he went down. So he's just got to get through this round now, really. We're midway through the second round. He's won that first one. This is only scheduled for 4. If he can get through this, okay, he might drop it 10-8. But then if he wins 3 and 4, you know, it's still very much doable here, but he's got to try and hold it together right now, basically.
Yep, he's got to box smart here. He can't get drawn in. He's got a good crowd in here, and that can easily draw you into those fights where you just listen to the roar of the crowd and you sit there a little bit too long. The game plan goes out the window. He's got to box smart here, Giles, because he's got a dangerous opponent in him, a guy that's looking to counter punch. He's looking to counter punch with that right hand. He looks physically strong. He looks like he can whack a little bit, Giles a little bit open with his defence. He's got a wide stance. He's throwing the left hand, carrying it a little bit too low, which is dangerous tactics. But he has to keep it together here. He's got to stay switched on.
40 seconds remaining in the round, and there comes Zundovskis. Just stepped off to the side there, Giles, which is definitely something he needs to do. Doesn't want to just be pulling back out in straight lines, because Zundovskis is one of these guys who will just come forward and keep coming forward and keep coming forward, as he did there. And Giles does just pull out in straight lines there, and he's in a bit of trouble. The right hand gets through again there, quite high up on the head, and Giles is looking to bob and weave on the inside, and Zundovskis is just clambering all over him. And this is dangerous again here for Giles towards the end of the round, and Zundovskis getting through with lefts and rights, and Giles somehow managing to stay on his feet, but he's all in, he is absolutely all in, and the referee jumps in and waves this one over, and that is a defeat for Giles, and a big win on the road for Juris Zundovskis. Congratulations to him. And he got it done towards the end of the round there, Spence. He put his man down early at the start of the round. Didn't go crazy, did he? To be fair to him, he didn't go crazy, but then he backed him up in that neutral corner. He was getting through. Giles was firing back as best he could, but then the legs had gone, and there were only a few seconds left in the round, but that's not the referee's concern, and he did the right thing.
Great refereeing there, because, yeah, Giles was gone. We just see it there was the first knockdown. Short right hook. We was talking about it just before he got caught. Giles was carrying the left hand way too low, bringing it back too low. You know, he's tall, he's upright. He wasn't moving off the line. He was sitting in the pocket, and Zundovskis landed a good shot, and then he took his time. You're right in what you said, Andy. He was waiting for the opportunity, and then when he saw it, he pounced on there, let the combinations go. Giles felt the weight of a couple of shots, and then there was one final big right hand that went in, and that took the legs away from him just as he went back. Yes, there was only a few seconds left in the round. Referee didn't know that, and he done the right thing by stopping the contest, because you felt another follow-up, and Giles could have got knocked spark out there. So good refereeing. Back to the drawing board for Giles. He's got, you know, you can see that he's got the talent there, but he just has to get back and work on the things that he done wrong there.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, at a time of 2 minutes, 57 seconds of the second round, our referee stops the contest. Your winner by TKO from Liepaja, Latvia, Juris Zundovskis.
Big win for Zundovskis. I remember another Latvian fighter, Mantis Davidaitis, getting a couple of big knockouts here 6-7 years ago in fights that I covered here at this terrific venue. So he'll be lapping this up, and there's every reason that he should. For Giles, this is a setback, but it's not fatal. Ellis for learn, not for losses, as you say about boxers earlier in their career, and there'll be loads that he'll learn from this. He might not feel like it now, but he'll be the better for it.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, it's not, a loss doesn't spell the end of the career. This is all the learning stage. This is all the development stage, you know. Giles comes from good stock. He's a good amateur, and he made some mistakes there. He got drawn in. He brought a good crowd with him tonight. The crowd were going wild. As I said, the atmosphere here in New York Hall, the noise bounces off the walls. You get a real vibe in here, and sometimes that gets to a fighter. He gets drawn in. Giles is the type of guy that likes to keep things long, you know, work those skills on the outside. Zundovskis is the type of guy that wants to get inside. He wants to rough you up. So, you know, Giles played into his game. He was throwing the jab, carrying it down low. He got caught with that one big shot, and Zundovskis never let him off the hook. And there we saw the finish where Giles had nothing left. He wasn't complaining, going back to the corner. Good work there from the referee. But look, Giles can come again. Of course he can. He's got the boxing skills. He's just got to go back to the drawing board. It happens to good fighters. It happens to fighters that go on and become world champions. It's all about how you come back. It's not about the defeat. It's about what you learn from the defeat. Early stages, it's not a damaging thing, and I think we can definitely see Giles go on and do better things. But that's it's going to be a big learning curve fight for him. It really is. It's going to be a shock now.